Can you tell that this car has 2 coatings on it? Better yet, can you guess the 2 coatings? Well, why would I put 2 coatings on one car? Well, if you want to find out, watch this video. A while back, we did a video sharing with you guys some of the products from Vonixx. They sent me their entire lineup, and I wanted to do a video sharing with you guys how to prep and also install one of their ceramic coatings using all Vonixx products. Oftentimes when I'm doing videos, they are non-scripted, spontaneous videos. I don't really know what I'm going to do until a vehicle comes in, I see a need, and then from there, we just kind of roll with whatever I can do. And oftentimes the magic happens in the editing process. And I have to be honest with you guys, I've been struggling with how to edit and pull this video together because this detail did not go as planned. We started off using all Vonixx products to prep our vehicle. I've really been enjoying their products, from their soaps, tire cleaners, wheel cleaners. I've been using them for several months and have been very impressed with them. I always start off cleaning tires and wheels. I hate doing them, but Delete makes it quick and easy to clean tires. And Izer, even though it is a stinkier product, it's thicker, nice lubrication, does a really nice job of giving you that purple reaction if you have a lot of brake dust on your wheels. We didn't have a whole lot of reaction on the surface of the wheels, but you can see our brake pads where it is metal. Obviously, we're going to have that instant reaction. But even though we didn't have a whole lot of purple reaction, you can see we're still removing all of that brake dust. It does a nice job of cleaning our wheels. Both of these products work extremely well. They're probably 2 of my more favorite products from Vonixx, that and their Citron soap. These products work extremely well in tandem together. But now we need to move on to removing some of the tar that is all over the exterior of this vehicle. You can see after I wet it, it just pops out really vividly. So we're going to use Strike. This is a tar and adhesive remover. Some tar removers are not safe to use on plastic trim. They can stain it, but this actually is safe to use near plastic trim. And actually, when you rinse it away with water, it does leave behind a white residue, but that's actually the product being emulsified by water, so it rinses away very quickly and cleanly. Now we're going to foam on our Citron degreasing soap. We also have the Flock soap in our bucket for extra lubrication, and we're going to do a thorough wash as well as a chemical decon and clay towel treatment on our vehicle to finish prepping it for a ceramic coating. I wish I could say I got footage of this, but I got distracted because my neighbor came to visit with her baby, and of course I had to go over and say hi because she's super cute. But we're gonna rinse everything off, pull it inside, get set up to go ahead and do our polish step. So this vehicle is stored outdoors. Where the customer works is actually a very dusty environment, and he follows this channel, knows that we test out products frequently for you guys, and because he's just looking for a little bit of extra protection, was willing to allow me to use his vehicle as a test vehicle for ceramic coatings. So what we're going to actually do is just a quick paint enhancement to prep for the ceramic coating. I still haven't decided what product I'm going to use. I'm hoping to use Vonixx's ceramic coating, but I've seen some things online that I'm not sure because of the environment this vehicle is stored in, parked outdoors, a dusty environment, potential water spotting issues. I'm not quite sure if that's the product that I want to use, but we need to finish polishing. After doing my test spot with the Vonixx medium polish, I was finding that it was doing decent amount of correction, but I wasn't finishing down properly. I even tried a less aggressive pad to see if maybe that would help me finish down better, but was still struggling. And sometimes as a detailer, you can come in with the idea of what products you want to use, and oftentimes the paint is going to dictate to you the product that you end up using. Because of the condition of paint and also the type of paint being Chevy paint, it can be sometimes difficult to work with. I realized that with these products I wasn't going to get the level of correction that I wanted without needing it to be a 2-step to finish down, and so we ended up shifting gears. We're doing a quick paint enhancement before we apply a ceramic coating. This is unpolished. You can see we have kind of a little bit of a dull appearance, some swirls and scratches. And over here, we've just done a quick paint enhancement, and every time I grab this stuff, it just never ceases to amaze me how well it finishes down. We don't have any micro marring. We're not getting all the swirls and scratches out, and that's okay because the customer is just paying for, honestly, we're just doing proper prep, restore some gloss and shine, get the paint cleaned and prepped properly for our ceramic coating. This is a daily beater. He's not looking for paint perfection, but you can just see big difference in gloss, but it's finishing down perfectly, very quickly. This stuff never ceases to amaze me. DIY detail gold standard, and their yellow waffle pad. Keeps it cool, keeps it clean. We're rinsing off our panels with the rinseless wash afterwards just to get our polish residue. Fantastic, efficient system. There's not a vehicle that I haven't tried this on that it just doesn't work. So I just got off the phone with Tiago from Vonixx. Fantastic guy. I had about 1,000 questions to ask him because we're getting ready to apply the coating to this vehicle. We still have some polishing work that we need to do. This vehicle is bigger than I thought. Holy crap. So initially I was going to be applying Vonixx's V paint, their 3-year coating. But when I was asking him questions about the V paint, this is about a $60 coating. It's designed for the enthusiast, for like an entry-level coating. I was seeing no videos online for it, so I was like, oh cool, I'll kind of be able to be the first one, and hopefully we will be able to do a video for you guys with this product in the future. What I was seeing online was kind of raising some hesitations on my part to apply that specific product. It was saying that in the first couple of days it can be prone to water spotting issues if you apply their SiO2 Pro at a minimum 12 hours after applying the coating, 4 days after applying the coating. It can kind of put a sacrificial layer on top of the coating. And even when I asked him, is it going to last 3 years? Realistically, he said, probably closer to that 2-year mark. And I appreciate transparency from companies. That is so unheard of. So I think he really gave me the information that I need to decide that maybe this isn't the best coating for this vehicle. I think that coating might be more designated for a vehicle that maybe is garage kept, isn't tortured. We might need something that has a little bit more chemical resistance, a little bit less risk of water spotting issues. And so I think we're going to actually end up applying the McKee's 37 graphene coating. Or we might try the Koshimi, their ceramic coating. I've heard fantastic things from that. In fact, my rep from Koshimi, Brian, was telling me his boss has the Koshimi coating on his Jeep. And he takes his Jeep through the automatic touch car wash like weekly, because his kids love going through the automatic car wash. They like the color bubbles, the lights. It's kind of like going through a discotheque. And the coating has gone through the car wash, I think 50 plus times. The last time I talked to him, so it's probably even exceeded that. And the coating is doing extremely well. In fact, they rate it as a 2 to 3 year coating with no exceptions for automatic car washes. So like, even if you go through the automatic car wash, which they're assuming you're going to, maybe we'll try that coating. I don't know. I got to think about it. I mean, sometimes you kind of got to shift gears. I'm fortunate enough that I have a lot of products that I can kind of play with and entertain. Not every coating is going to be suited for every vehicle. You kind of have to know what the environment is going to be, know how the customer is going to maintain it. I wouldn't just necessarily go and grab a 12-month coating off of the shelf or, whatever I have around. So I can appreciate that I have options to be able to present to my customers. The customer is trusting me for 2 to 3 year durability on a coating. He doesn't care what I apply. He's paying for a 2 to 3 year coating. He knows that this is kind of a promotion, that we're going to be testing out some different products. I want to make sure I'm giving him at least his money's worth. So this video is really for you guys. Sometimes the hardest thing for me with having a YouTube channel is that I want the videos to be fresh. I want them to be relevant. I don't want to constantly be doing the same things over and over for you guys. So I want to keep it entertaining and exciting for you guys, and at the same time educational. So for me, this video was wanting to showcase for you guys some different products, and I've done tons of videos on the McKee's 37 graphene. And so after we dialed in our paint with the DIY Detail Gold Standard, I decided that I wanted to try out the ceramic all-around, or CO2, from Koshimi. I'd heard great things about it. Now, I purchased this myself. It was pretty expensive to purchase, but you can actually get anywhere from 4 to 6 vehicles with this one bottle. It's about 75 milliliters of solution, and so I was excited to test this out for you guys for the first time. So it's a 100 milliliter size bottle filled with 75 milliliters of product, enough to do several vehicles. You might be thinking that the price tag is rich, but you can actually get 4 to 6 vehicles out of this one bottle. Looks like it's a little bit of a thicker product as it's coming out. So there's a little bit of viscosity to that. We're gonna seal it back up. I do have a little bit of residue that kind of came out on me, but that's the nitrogen that keeps it from curing in the bottle. So we've got our quadrant towels ready to go. Now we've already done wash, chemical decon, clay towel treatment, polish, panel prep wipe. Now we're ready to apply our coating. A little bit of a stronger odor. It's a slight rainbowing coating, but not a heavy. Got a little bit of a haze going on. And you have anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute comfortably before this kind of starts flashing off. So we're gonna move quick. So before that first section flashes off on me, we're going to coat this second section and consider that one panel. That is smooth. It's not grabby, it's just kind of smooth, kind of a velvety feeling. Very easy. I can actually already see the gloss on this. Just a very light touch, barely any pressure, just to help with any sort of high spots. And then again, and I think panel by panel is going to be perfect so that we're kind of preventing any sort of grabbiness or having to be a little bit more aggressive with removing the coating. But I did find this second section to be a little bit grabbier. Again, final light touch. So at this point, I'm not seeing any issues. I'm liking what I'm seeing. We're going to continue proceeding with this coating panel by panel. Definitely feel a little bit of that thickness with the product. As this sets up, I know it's a red vehicle. It's kind of hard to see any sort of rainbowing. You can just see a little bit of haze, a little bit of sweating. So you can see it's just a little bit of sweating, not a whole lot of rainbowing that I can see with this color vehicle. There's where we didn't coat. So let's come in with our towel. You can do circles or straight lines. I don't think it's really gonna make that big of a difference, whichever one. I like straight lines kind of for the initial level. I think we're gonna go through a little bit more towels on this because it is a thicker product. Sometimes your thinner ones, you can get by with not as many towels. I typically will go through about 12 towels for vehicles, so I think we might want to have a few more on hand. Final wipe. Just make sure we don't have any high spots. And we are leveled and beautiful. So at this point, I'm not seeing anything that I need to be concerned about. I can feel it is a thicker product to apply, and it is getting a little bit grabbier as I level the coating. You can see it's hazing up on me. It feels like some other products that I've used in the past that were a little bit more tenacious, maybe more higher solids coatings, and oftentimes that is going to be the case with your pro grade coatings. But I was running into problems the more I worked with this product. All right, so this channel is all about me sharing my experience with you guys and also being transparent and honest. Now, I don't typically do negative reviews, and this isn't going to be a negative review, but I am having some problems with this coating that I at least want to pass on what I'm experiencing so that if any of you have the same experience, you can kind of have a little bit more information to know how to proceed. When I first applied it to our hood, no issues whatsoever. I have my softbox light, which is right here. I use this for identifying high spots on the panels. You can put it over the light, and anytime you have a high spot, it will just kind of stand out really well. And so I was using that to kind of inspect. Initially didn't use it on the hood because I couldn't see any visibly. Started working on the roof. It was getting grabbier as I proceeded with it. I don't know if it was the applicator. Could be that I wasn't going thick enough with the product on the applicator. But I was coming in, applying it to like a 3x3 section, giving it like 30 seconds, which is what Brian had initially recommended. coming into level was getting grabbier, more difficult to level and remove, but I was able to do it. Then I would go to the next section, and anywhere there was like an overlap from the previous section to the new section, anywhere where there was kind of a layering of that fresh product, it was being really, really difficult for me to kind of level and give it a consistent appearance. Had to kind of aggressively massage it and then just kind of proceed. Came in with my softbox light to inspect, and there was high spots all over the place that I really had to aggressively kind of work out and massage out of the paint. Went back over the hood, saw that there were a couple areas too where we had that problem. So I called Brian immediately. I was like, what am I doing wrong? I think this coating hates me. We tried to figure out maybe I didn't put enough product on the pad. Also the fact that it is a cooler day, but it now started to rain and it's more humid. And so could humidity be affecting it? And so we tried applying and immediately leveling off, and it was still a little bit grabby and difficult. So we've got all of our vertical surfaces coated with the COO2. We might shift gears to a different coating. We'll play that one by ear, but having a little bit of difficulty. It does seem to be that there's a little bit more temperature requirements with this product. Brian did recommend 65 and above, but lower humidity is ideal temperatures for this type of product. So if you have more humid conditions, your flash time is going to be greatly decreased. Don't feel like you've got to skimp on this product. Go heavy with it. As soon as you kind of get that product applied, come in immediately and level. But having a softbox light like this is definitely going to help with being able to inspect. So just wanted to kind of pass on what I experienced with this coating. We're going to keep moving with the rest of the vehicle, but not every coating is going to be the easiest coating out there. When you've got a higher solids, thicker product, sometimes these are the things that you have to work around. I've had other coatings with almost the exact same type of situation, like Vonixx EOD, DPC T6 Plus. All are thicker, higher solids products. They're more pro-grade chemical resistant, but they have maybe a little bit more of an aggressive approach when it comes to application, leveling, and things like that. And so would I say that that's like an entry-level coating? Probably not. I would say it's more for the experienced detailer, for someone that's wanting something that is going to be more durable. And so I think that might be the skill set required for a product like that. But Brian has had customers purchase this. It's their first time applying a coating, and they said they had no problem. So who knows? You never know. Sometimes with detailers, you just kind of got to roll with the punches. So typically when I am doing a ceramic coating video like this for you guys, even if the product isn't the easiest to work with, I will coat the entire vehicle with that one product just for the sake of uniformity and consistency. But because we had spent so much time massaging out those high spots and dealing with the product and troubleshooting with Brian on the roof and hood, and because we had a strict budget, and also because the customer was okay with me putting 2 different products on his vehicle, from the lower panels down, we ended up applying the McKee's 37 graphene coating. The customer has already worked with that in the past with several vehicles, was a fan of it, and so he okayed me moving forward with putting 2 coatings on his vehicle for test purposes. And I was really thankful that he was flexible like this. This is the only time that I will probably ever do a situation like this, but it did in the back of my mind make me a little eager to see what the products would be like 2 coatings on one vehicle. Are the hydrophobics going to look different? Is the gloss and shine going to look different? From this vantage point, I can't see any difference with the gloss and shine, but we're now present day. The customer brought the vehicle by for me to do a free maintenance wash and for me to check in on the vehicle, on the coatings, to see what's going on with this vehicle. I'm really excited to kind of play with it a little bit more. We've been really dry the last couple weeks and we're finally getting some rain, and so we do have a lot of dust and we need to do a good wash on this vehicle. But for those of you that want to see the hydrophobics for the ceramic all around, and just to see how you can maintain a vehicle that might have different coatings on it, I'm really excited to see how these coatings are performing for this customer. When I asked the customer how he's been maintaining this vehicle, he said he's been washing it every few weeks with McKee's 37 graphene auto wash. And I can tell he's been doing a fantastic job of maintaining this, because even though there is some road film and a light layer of dust on it, We have no clogging whatsoever with our hydrophobics. They look fantastic even though the vehicle is still dirty. So I'm really happy to hear that not only has the customer been maintaining the vehicle properly, he's been enjoying it. He did notice that the beads on the roof and the hood are not as tight as the beads on the side, so we'll keep an eye out for that. But we're going to use Shift soap from Shine Supply. This is a ceramic friendly soap, and you can see already our hydrophobics are wanting to repel the soap on the surface. Even if you were to foam the soap on, it would kind of have this streaky appearance because the ceramic coating is doing exactly what it's designed to do. It's not letting anything stick to the surface, be it water or soap or dirt. Doing a simple contact wash like this is the perfect way to maintain a coated vehicle. You don't have to go fancy with foaming soap on there. If you want to, you can. That's great. We all enjoy it. But I'm not seeing any huge differences in the hydrophobics of the vehicle. So we're just going to do a very quick hand wash, rinse everything off, and then we'll come in and really be able to see if there's a noticeable difference with the hydrophobics from one panel to the next or from one coating to the next. So we coated our hood with the Koshimi CO2, and these side panels have the McKee's graphene. Tell me if you can see a difference. The customer did say that he noticed that the roof and the hood, the beads aren't quite as tight here. But you tell me if you think that those are tight or not. I think they look pretty darn good. We're gonna flood the panel. And that is practically dry with water alone. Do the same with the graphene coating. So for me, to my trained eye, I can't see a difference from this bead to this bead. You're not going to see a big difference in performance. Here's where we transition from our CO2 to our graphene. And again, so all in all, the graphene coating looks fantastic after just a quick contact wash. And our roof is doing great as well. For those of you that want to see what kind of beads you can get with the ceramic all around, as well as with the graphene, here's just a little demonstration for you. But realistically, when you're washing a ceramic coated vehicle, the last step you want to do before you get ready to dry is to actually flood the panels with water, so that way you can benefit from sheeting capabilities if the coating offers that. So we're going to go around the entire vehicle, try to remove as many of those micro droplets as possible, so that way that will help reduce the risk of water spots as we dry the vehicle. But because ceramic coatings are so hydrophobic, we're actually going to try to take advantage of that, and we're going to use our Ego blower to blow all of the water off the vehicle. It's fun, it's quick, and it's easy. I've tested out a couple of different variations of car dryers, and this by far is the most powerful and quickest way to get around a vehicle. I just picked this up from Car Supplies Warehouse a few weeks ago and have been really enjoying it. So now that we've pretty much blown off most of the water on the vehicle, there's a few little water droplets left behind, and I want to just fine-tune things. we're going to use our microfiber drying towel and a drying aid to go around and safely dry the rest of this vehicle. If you do have a ceramic coated vehicle, they can be prone to water spots. I find that this is my favorite to use. This is Finish Spray Exterior. It actually has a lime scale remover within it that will help go after fresh water spots. I've been really enjoying this for ceramic coated vehicles. So we are done with our quick basic wash for this customer on this coating to see how it was performing, and I am not seeing anything that I would be concerned about, that I would be unhappy about, honestly. Both of the coatings are working really well together. I'm not seeing any issues with the COO2 on the roof or on the hood. This vehicle is parked outdoors, so I do see a little bit of staining on the roof. It looks like soap residue, but I didn't foam anything on. I didn't let the soap dry. We're actually a super cloudy day. We've been in and out of rain all day, so I don't believe that it is anything that has been induced from this service here. So it's possible that if they let soap dry on the roof, that the soap may have stained it a little bit. So we will keep an eye on that in the future. Although this may be the first and only time that I ever have 2 coatings on a vehicle, I'm happy to see that there's really no performance differences with these coatings. You've got a 2 to 3 year coating on a roof and hood that are chemically durable, able to withstand a lot of the stronger soaps from a car wash. We've got a up to 5-year graphene coating, and let's face it, most coatings, especially in the climate that I live in, are going to be closer to that 2 to 3 year range. So both of these products, I believe, are going to perform durability wise very similarly. We've got the added benefits of graphene on our side panels, and what I'm seeing so far on the roof and hood, similar characteristics. I'm not seeing any sort of major issues. The only thing that I'm seeing with the COO2 is a little bit of that staining on the roof, but that again could be too strong of a soap or soap dried on there, that maybe we just need to do a stronger water spot treatment to remove it. So we'll play around with that off camera just to see if we can remedy that for the customer. I'll give you guys an update in the comment section down below if we're able to kind of treat that issue. But all in all, happy with the hydrophobics, happy with what I'm seeing as far as aesthetics. You can't really see any sort of difference, but as far as the COO2 coating goes, I'll have to play with it some more. I want to kind of circle back to that coating in the future just to see, you know, maybe there was a user error going on. I'm never going to admit that first time using a coating, you're not going to have some issues. There's a learning experience with every single coating, and that's why I try to stick with one coating for my customers, and that's why I've stuck with the McKee's graphene, and that's why I ended up kind of going back to that one, because I know how to use that coating extremely well. I've done well over 24 applications of it at this point. My customers are loving it, I'm loving it. But for you guys that are always wanting education, wanting to kind of see different coatings that are on the market, that's why we kind of went this route with trying to test it out, but it worked out well for the customer. He got a heck of a deal on a coated vehicle that should last 2 to 3 years regardless. And so far I've been able to get a lot of knowledge that hopefully I can transfer onto you guys. So, but what do you think? I mean, I know we don't normally recommend at all doing 2 coatings on one vehicle, but what are your thoughts on the Koshimi product? And if you've used it, what has your experience been like? Because I don't know, it just wasn't the best coating for me to work with, but obviously we didn't have any sort of issues with hydrophobics, ease of maintenance to wash. So all in all, that aspect, it's working out really well. But we're done with this detail with this video. We're gonna wrap it up, go inside, have lunch with my kids, but let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys in the next detail. Have a great day.